A bomb explodes in the heart of India, 13 people dead, dozens injured, and once again, the Indian government is caught sleeping. But here's the real question. Who benefits when terror strikes, and why is the blame instantly pushed toward one community? Welcome to SMR's Daily Report, where we break the script, confront the truth head-on, and say what the mainstream is terrified to admit. Tonight, we revisit the Delhi car bomb blast of November 2025, but with a question India refuses to confront. A bomb went off near Red Fort, 13 dead, dozens injured. A highly trained white-collar terror module with doctors, engineers, and researchers at its core. A network stretching across states. Evidence pointing to foreign handlers, encrypted communication, and industrial-level planning. So, why did large sections of Indian media instantly jump to one conclusion? Why were headlines already blaming Muslim terrorists before investigators even identified the suspects? Why did primetime debates turn the tragedy into a Hindu versus Muslim spectacle within minutes? Why do some reporters act as if Islam itself is the enemy, instead of the criminals who planned the attack? The evidence showed professionals with clean records, no stereotypical profiles, no community-based pattern. Yet the narrative was pushed, repeated, amplified, a convenient villain, an easy label, a formula the media knows will get views. And here's the real question. Why are certain politicians so desperate to frame every act of violence as Muslims versus Hindus? Who benefits when a terror attack becomes a communal battleground instead of a national security issue? Who gains when citizens are divided, angry, emotional, and distracted from the real failures, loopholes, intelligence gaps, and systemic weaknesses? The blast exposed a bigger threat than the bomb itself, the threat of a narrative designed to turn Indians against Indians. A story that says an entire community is responsible for the actions of a few. A story pushed so hard that truth gets buried under fear. Because if the suspects are doctors, engineers, researchers, not the faces media loves to demonize, then the old storyline collapses. And without that storyline, the political machinery loses its easiest weapon, division. Did you know, in Hulikati village, Belagavi district, Karnataka, an extraordinary act of communal malice was uncovered? On or around the 14th of July, 2025, dozens of students at the government lower primary school in Hulikati drank water from the school tank and began falling ill. Because 3 Hindus poisoned the water tank to kill the small kids, police soon arrested 3 men in connection with the incident. 1. Sagar Patil, the Taluk-level president of the right-wing group, Sri Ram Sen. 2. Krishna Madar, coerced into assisting the plot. 3. Maganguda Patil, another accomplice who procured the pesticide. The motive, according to police, was to force a transfer of the school's headmaster, Suleiman Gornayak, a Muslim educator who had served at the school for around 13 years. Police say the conspirators laced the drinking water tank with pesticide, used a minor student to carry out the act, and intended to create panic, tarnish the headmaster's reputation, and demand his removal. The Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah, condemned the act as driven by religious hatred and called it a threat to communal harmony. This is not a case of accidental contamination. This was a well-thought planned, communal conspiracy inside. The weapon, poisoned water, the target, children, an educator, and a community. However, Indian media either seemed unaware or deliberately chose not to talk about this case. But the moment an incident can be framed as Muslims versus Hindus, and the narrative benefits the current BJP government, they drop everything, including basic humanity, and turn into full-time propagandists. They target the minority, amplify hate, manufacture chaos, and cash in on it, making hundreds of millions in the process. Tonight, we ask what others won't. Why does terror become communal only when it fits the script? Why does justice stop at religion? And why does India keep falling for the same narrative again and again? This is SMR's Daily Report, where truth cuts through chaos. Don't forget to subscribe for real news, analysis, and more.